It's more injuries, more and more and more injuries for Chelsea. Sterling, Carney Chukwuemeka, obviously Enzo Fernandez out now after his surgery for the rest of the season. So that's 3 more players now added to the list to make it 12 players out in the run-in for our game against Aston Villa, of which we're going to be dissecting some of the things that Pochettino has said in his press conference earlier today, some of the score predictions, the team news, and so on and so forth. So please do smash the like button, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And also subscribe. It really does help me out. A new camera angle. Whoa, look at this. We're up in the production, baby, but not just quite yet. We're going to go into some serious stuff now, now that that's out of the way. It's just stupid. It's just my old webcam. Ignore. Pay no mind to this glorious setup now, giving you 2 sides of the man himself. No, I digress. Cole Palmer is back. He is back. That said, so there are actually some positives. Well, one positive that we are now officially Chelsea FC no longer. We are now Cole Palmer FC once again. Levi Colwill in partial training. Reece James in partial training. Christopher Nkunku in partial training. The last 2, Reece James and Christopher Nkunku, I've seen rumours that they're in full team training, but then I've also seen Christopher Nkunku. I can't remember if this is, well, I think it was recent, but recent enough where the reports were that Nkunku tried to get involved in training but was told to do one, basically. Robert Sanchez in partial team training. Leslie Ugochukwu in partial team training. Enzo Fernandez, the early stages of recovery following successful groin surgery, as we've already established. Chukwuemeka, Sterling undergoing medical assessment. Ben Chilwell, the list continues. Ben Chilwell undergoing rehabilitation program. Malo Gusto undergoing rehabilitation program. Wesley Fofana, who knows? But apparently continuing to undergo his rehabilitation program, and same goes for Romeo Lavia. With that said, we move on to Pochettino's press conference, and Pochettino is such a woe is me merchant, is he not? And it's ironic. It really is ironic what he said in today's press conference. He said that it looks like on the to the press, to the media, and obviously to the fans as well, that I need to prove myself. It's always the coach needs to prove himself, but we are all responsible. Again, putting the blame not just on himself. He never puts the blame on himself, let's be honest, but putting the blame elsewhere. We all need to prove that we deserve to be here next season, not only me. He's having a pop at the players again. Painfully ironic, coming from the man that seems to only blame losses or draws on the age of the team. He even blames the wins on the age of the team. Injuries within the team, both or anything other than his poor man management. The fact that he reportedly runs players into the ground, not only at Chelsea but at Spurs as well. And the lack of substitutions before the 80th minute probably doesn't help at all as well in every single game, whether we win, lose or draw. I just don't get how he's getting angry at people criticizing him or going at him when all he ever does is blame the squad or the fans for that matter. That we're not supporting them enough. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. The players are young. We got injuries. Fucking get over it, mate. Honestly. Not only that, but it's now been established as, due to reports that he gave himself, that he's also said that he has not spoken to the club's owners for 2 months. 2 months, which is bizarre but not surprising at all. He's what he said. We communicate through the sporting directors. My views and feelings have not changed despite not crossing paths. Much like the players not wanting Pochettino sacked, is we crossed over that in my last video on this channel. It's pretty clear why he's happy. He hasn't heard from the owners, because that way he doesn't get to hear any criticism, or at least if he does, it's via someone else. I think it's from a senior member of the whatever it is. Not, that they'd give it to him in the first place. They appear to be okay with the state of things. Again, not like we've heard any different as of late. Again, the players had the day off after the 5-0 defeat to Arsenal, according to reports, rather than working on what went wrong and how to avoid totally relying on Cole Palmer. He gave them the day off. He gave them the day off, apparently. Once again, Pochettino is a glorified childminder. I saw someone on Twitter earlier describe him as a supply teacher that all the kids love because he lets them get away with whatever they want all the time. But he sits there sulking himself when he's criticised, when virtually every issue, for the most part, is a result of his poor man management. Of course, he can't finish the chances himself. Jackson, so on. But besides that, you could put the blame on pretty much everything on him in this. I'm not trying to just, start, pile on him. But he fucking brings it on himself with some of the shit he comes out, honestly. Every issue with the team, you can, for the most part, pin back on him. You can. Now, for the game, for Aston Villa, head-to-heads, here are some of the stats for you, as we all love me going through some of the statistics. Villa are aiming for a third consecutive league win over Chelsea. Don't forget, we've already met 3 times in the 23-24 season, with Villa winning in the league earlier this season and Chelsea winning in the FA Cup after, of course, a draw, leading to the replay of which we won. Villa are looking to complete a first league double over Chelsea since the 1989-90 season. The 1989-90 season. Specifically for Villa, heading into this game, Villa's only defeat in their last 6 league matches came at Manchester City, winning 3, drawing 2 during that time. They are unbeaten in 5 home games in all competitions, with 4 wins and a draw. A win in this game, and Villa would register 21 top-flight wins in a season for the first time since 1992. 1992! Villa have never lost. This stat just makes me laugh because it's just made for Chelsea to beat in terms of add to it. Villa have never lost a Saturday night game timed 7 p.m. or later in the Premier League, with 3 wins and a draw. Top scorer Ollie Watkins has scored in his last 2 Premier League games against Chelsea. He needs 1 top-flight goal to become the first Villa player to reach 20 in a season since Peter Wythe in the 1980-1981 season. For Chelsea, we had an 8-game unbeaten run come to an end with a 5-0 defeat to Arsenal, of course, on Tuesday. Outrageously, our last 7 league fixtures have produced an average of 5 goals per game. 5 goals per game. We currently sit at a club record of 57 goals conceded in the Premier League this season. It just continues to grow. And I think there's 5 games left, is there not? 5 games? Chelsea have won just 1 of their last 8 Premier League games outside of London, drawing 2 and losing 5. The win that we had was against Luton in December. And Raheem Sterling has not scored in any of his 5 Premier League appearances at Villa Park. But don't worry, don't worry. He'll go even longer, as he'll be missing from the game, as we know, through injury. What a shock. What a shock. I'm loving the extra camera angle. What a shock. Starting 11-wise, and it's no shock to anyone that Pochettino is as unpredictable as Chelsea at this point. Virtually impossible to guess where he's going with his starting 11. That said, here is my guess for the game. Petrovic in goal, if he goes with Sanchez, which I highly doubt, because I'm pretty sure he is on the injury list, so... he is, so that's not going to happen. So that's well, I say that's one thing to not worry about. But Petrovic has been a bit stinky as of late, has he not? You would have thought that Chalobah being in the starting 11, being within the starting 11 against Arsenal was a sensible idea, but Pochettino thought otherwise. However, surely now, having had a rest despite playing late on Tuesday instead of starting the game, he's now played closer to the game as a means of playing in the last 25 minutes or so. We should expect to see Chalobah in the squad alongside Thiago Silva, who is destined for Fluminense. Badiashile cannot start. He cannot start. He has been absolutely abysmal. As much as I love him, my patience is drawing thin. It really, really is. He's been abysmal. Nothing short of. And so he cannot start. He cannot start. Disasi, as a result of being one of the only players left available on that to be able to play as a right back, and God knows, Alfie Gilchrist cannot be fed to the Wolves again. Or the Lions, I suppose. The Frenchman will likely start, Disasi that is, at right back. With Enzo out now for the remainder of the season, you can bet your bottom bippy that Cole Palmer is to be our regular number 10 until the final day, with Caicedo and Gallagher slotting in behind. Madueke and Makayo Mudryk with Jackson up top. If he goes with anything other than that, I don't know what to say anymore. I just don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. There is simply no predicting what the man will do next if he goes with anything besides this. There is literally no one left. Excuse me. There is literally no one left in the squad besides that 11. I don't get who he could possibly go with at that point. Predictions-wise, I think we may see back-to-back defeats in the league for the first time since late January, early February, where we lost to Liverpool and Wolves. If we do lose, I can honestly see it being a potentially even more poor run of form than that, with, of course, Tottenham and West Ham to come up next. That said, Palmer is in the squad. We may see a miracle of sorts, but at the same time, I'm not putting that sort of pressure on him to do anything to save us once again at all. He does it himself. I think he has it in him, but we'll see. I'm not just going to be like, Palmer's back, so we're going to win. I don't think that's necessarily the case, and I don't want to put that sort of pressure on someone, that young. Like, I know we put pressures on the club as a whole, but that's as a collective to just completely be like, this guy has to do everything. If he doesn't, you'll start to see people be like, oh, he's starting to show some cracks. It's not the case. For the rest of the squad, mistakes are aplenty at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw any in this game. Score-wise, I see it being a high-scoring game as it always has been recently. So many goals in games as of late. I see it being 3-1 to Aston Villa, quite honestly. I think spirits are low. I think the players are just ready for the season to end. They're embarrassed. Well, maybe, I don't know. And if history has anything to say, the players are not known for bouncing back very often. So much like before our game on Tuesday, my expectations are very low coming into this. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think we're going to win? Do you think we're going to lose? Do you think we're going to draw? Do you think Cole Palmer is going to save us once again? Let me know in the comments down below. Please do like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. Was the camera change really fucking annoying? Please let me know. I'm obviously just getting used to it now. But yeah, with that said, hopefully it's not a loss. Hopefully, if we do lose, hopefully it's not a drilling. With that said, my name is Harry, up the Chelsea, and peace.